Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Aquarius is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot reading. Please hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. It's totally free, doesn't cost you anything. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. We got your power card. This is the star. This is your archetype. This is you as your best, most illumined, most activated self. Pretty good way to start. But it's also, that's kind of a card that's kind of non-specific, right? It says you are your best self. You are in your best energy right now. Well, what does that mean? What are we doing with that? Where are we taking this? I think it's a sense of purpose. I think it's really, you're so in harmony with yourself and with the universe that wherever you're going is where you're meant to go, right? So let's put this into some context. This is really fantastic. Getting the power card as the very first card is not something that happens often. Now we've got an Ace of Wands. It's kind of a magic wand. To me, these two cards together say that anything you put your energy into right now is going to be wildly successful. Okay? Two of Cups. Look at that. Three of Cups. And Lust or Strength card. Very good. And an Ace of Swords. Very interesting that we have an Ace of Wands and an Ace of Swords. So whatever you put your energy into, as long as you feel connected with it, you feel the love is there and the passion is there, the creativity will be there, and you will have no doubts in your mind about what you are creating. This is absolutely perfect. We have a Tower card. We've got the Death card. We've got the Queen of Pentacles, okay, and the Moon card at the end. Interesting. So you are venturing into the unknown. You are transforming your life in such a way that you might not know what the end result is. And that's perfectly fine. You may not have the details of what you want in the future exactly. You may know that it's got to be something that you feel connected to. You know that it's got to be something that you feel passionate about, that really elicits your creativity. And you've got to be certain that it is something that's breaking the mold, something that is innovating, something that is pushing boundaries, something that is taking you out of your comfort zone in a way, right? So whatever you're putting your effort, your energy, whatever this Ace of Wands is touching, is going to break the mold. It's going to break expectations. Every moment is a breakthrough for you. This is really tremendous progress spiritually, but also I think very practically. Very much in terms of career or finances, your health, your relationships, your creative works, and your spirituality. This is a life reading, and we see the cards here that really do talk about that. Right? We've got your creativity. We have your sense of purpose and destiny. We even have this with the Two of Cups. We have this idea of love, romance, connections, intimacy. Right? Intimacy. We've got family, we've got celebrations, we have the Three of Cups, the understanding the process of creation on the emotional plane. You understand peak experiences and how to have more of those, how to generate those, how to repeat this, yeah, because this is from the past. This is, I think, a lot of spiritual experiences, and you're learning how to kind of have those again and again and again. We've got the major arcana over here, the Tower, the Death card, all about change, all about harmonizing with change. This is sudden change. This is breaking the mold, and it's through a series of breakthrough spiritual experiences of revelation, of truth, of prophecy in your own life that you are slowly transforming yourself into your star, into your best self, into this kind of pure spiritual being. And the moon card at the end, too, I think that's very important because that signifies the idea that the future is always uncertain. That just because you are in your best energy, just because you know that everything you touch is going to turn to gold here, it doesn't mean that you can predict the future. It doesn't mean that you are immune to the fluctuating tides of the moon, right? To pleasure and pain, joy and sorrow, ups and downs. It doesn't mean that you are somehow inoculated against the effects of life, right? You still understand that the future is uncertain. It could be good days, bad days. You could fail at things. I don't think that's happening, but you're aware of those possibilities. And it's more of a consciousness and even a philosophy, I guess, of the outcome of change. We can assume that everything we touch is going to be magnificent, that there will be no doubts, everything will be connected and harmonious and joyful and passionate, everything will be a breakthrough, everything will be clear. But the ultimate reality of things is that every step we take, we're stepping into the unknown. So there's a lot of courage needed on your part, and I think that's why we've got the Luster Strength card at the top here. This is the courage. This is the courage to invoke your will and to use this magic wand to follow your will, right? To manifest your intentions, your divinity, your purpose, the meaning that you find in life is coming through this activity. And this is anything and everything. You've really got this power about you right now where it feels like there are just unlimited options for you at the moment. Okay. Let's select the mystery card before I forget about that. This is one random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. We're just going to put it down over here. We're going to put Tiny Bob Ross right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, but it will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during the reading you feel like you know what that card is or you have a hunch, put that hunch down in the comments, right? Let's do it together. Let's make it a group activity, right? Make it an exercise in intuition. I hesitated there for a second because Spirit's telling me to ask who's the gambler. Who's the one that either goes to the casino or plays cards or does the lottery? Somebody is kind of like putting money into things like that, like in a gambling kind of way, right? I don't know if that's you or somebody close to you, but I kind of feel as if there's this confidence right now that something's about to happen. Like something big is getting ready to pop off, kind of, you know. Also, do you burn a lot of incense? I feel that you always have some sort of like stimulating aroma around you, like an incense. I don't know if it's Nag Champa or some kind of sandalwood or something. It seems like it's a stick incense that you like to burn, and maybe you kind of go around your house and you just kind of consecrate your house and, you know, you purify things, almost like a smudging kind of thing. But I feel that's something that you do often with just like a stick of incense. Yeah. I feel like that's important to you as a way of kind of stimulating this feeling of holiness, right? Just kind of setting the mood for your life or for your day even. Yeah. All right, let's look around at the cards. Now we see major, 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 major. Of course, we've got our fire, we've got our water, we've got our air, we've got our earth. We've got a little bit of everything. It's very balanced. Yeah. Nothing is missing. Nothing is too exaggerated except for the major arcana, but we like when the spirit is emphasized, right? Sometimes we get a lot of swords cards. We don't like that. Sometimes we even get too much fire energy. We don't really like that either. But when we get an abundance of major arcana cards, it says that, look, a lot is happening. A lot of things are happening that seem like they're out of your control, right? It's just the world is happening. Things are just everywhere. It's busy, right? A lot of these things are out of your control. You acknowledge that. You accept that. You're not someone that tries to control things that are out of your sphere of influence, and then we get anxiety. We suffer because we can't change things. It's kind of the difference between the Tower card and the Death card. To me, the Tower card is sometimes something that we can control. The idea of change in the Tower card, now I'm kind of jumping around the spread a little bit, and that's okay. A spread this good, it doesn't really matter where we start, you know. The Tower card is change that we can have an influence over, right? We can anticipate things coming our way and we can adapt to them, we can prepare for them. Sometimes we're the ones that are making these decisions that are going to just drastically change our life, right? This is us choosing to rip the Band-Aid right off, you know, or to break the mold, or to make that big life decision. Whereas the Death card is kind of that slow, steady process of change that we can't always control. Now, sometimes these get reversed. Sometimes it's those sudden things that we can't predict, that we can't anticipate, that we have no control over, right? And sometimes it is the slower process of change that we can control. You know, we slowly make lifestyle changes, we change our diet, we change our activity level, and slowly over time we see that things have changed. We have changed, right? We try to incorporate good habits, get rid of bad habits, and we find that we've changed into, the kind of person that we want to be, right? The best version of ourselves. So, control and kind of, and not control can be either one of these, but I think that these really signify that there's a split there, that there's different kinds of change, or change has different ways of manifesting in our lives. Yeah. And I think part of your energy right now is your ability to adapt and the courage really to handle anything that comes your way, whether it's abrupt and sudden and you're unprepared, or if it's something gradual that you're trying to influence. I think you're capable of making really huge changes in your life. Like right now, every moment you can change your life. And you can do it suddenly. It could be like night and day. Or, you know, every moment we can make decisions that will slowly transform us and our lives over time. Okay? And I think you're recognizing that, but I don't think you have really a vision or a detail about what you want the future to be. You don't know exactly where you want to live or what you want to do for a living or who you want to do it with. You just know that every moment you're trying to live by your own set of principles. See, we've got this star card. And this is you following your destiny. This is you with a firm kind of, you're firmly locked in to your star. Yeah. And it's guiding you every step of the way. And it may still feel like there's darkness way out in the distance, that you can't really see what shores you are going to stumble upon at some point, right? It still is kind of, it's still dark out there. But you're trusting in yourself, you're trusting in spirit, and you're being guided every step of the way. And this is kind of like we can see what's 3 feet in front of us, but beyond that, we're not really sure. So we just know what we can do right now. We're not so worried about the future. We know the future is going to turn out okay as long as we keep following our star. And the Ace of Swords, in some ways, there's this idea of trusting in yourself, trusting in your own consciousness, your own awareness. And then there's also just kind of closing your eyes and trusting in the universe. You know, allowing yourself to be pulled and guided. So one's active, one's passive, right? Kind of a yin-yang thing there. But I think you really have this perfect activation of your archetype right now. And you are, well, one of the reasons why we might not have a particular detail of the future, an exact vision of it, is because you're doing something that no one's ever done before. You have nothing to really base this on. I feel that you are kind of at the cutting edge of your life here. The cutting edge of what is possible, of the real and the unreal. I think that you're leading the way for something. Yeah. We talked about the Three of Cups. To me, this is the creation of these peak experiences in your life. And you understand how to make more of those. And these kind of peak experiences, whether it's peak emotional, romantic experiences, or creative, or spiritual, or physical, whatever it is, financial even, you're learning how to create those kind of at will. And that's what's leading you to this tower energy, the kind of step-by-step exceeding expectations. This is you really breaking through the limits. This is like you're breaking your own records. That makes sense? And I don't know what exactly you're doing, but I feel like every time you put this kind of spiritual energy into something, you're breaking your own record. Yeah. And I don't know if you're doing something, if it's financial, if it's something like with sports or something, or maybe it's like weightlifting. I don't know. It's all of these things, though. Yeah. All of these things. I think you had like a close call recently, right? Like I'm feeling that you like either you fell or something fell down, but it didn't. It didn't break. There was no harm, no foul, right? Something that should have maybe hurt you, you got away clean, right? I don't know if it was an accident, if you fell off something, and I think maybe you expected to get really hurt, or you were shocked that you weren't injured, right? Something like that happened to you recently. And I think this is kind of one of these ideas, not that we're invincible, not that you should do risky things, don't put yourself in any kind of harm or dangerous situation, but I have this feeling that like Spirit is really supporting you right now. That it's not that we're just like, we can throw ourselves down a flight of stairs and be okay. Don't do that. You will hurt yourself. I guarantee it. But it's this idea that we are just kind of in harmony with things to the degree where there's some kind of force helping you, right? And I don't think it's a mystery. I don't think it's some kind of force. I think you know what it is. But this is also the feeling, I think, that if you are following your star, things are going to work out. You might find yourself in a difficult position, but it's going to be okay. Like you may lose your job, but that's okay because your path is arranged in such a way that you will find a better one very soon. And I think you've probably had that experience a lot in your life, that you've been in between jobs, right? But you've always had enough to get by until you found the next better job, right? You've never had a problem like making money or finding a way to not just survive, but really to be comfortable until until you found the next thing. And I think the way you are finding the next thing in your life is a combination of your efforts and then also this strange like luck kind of thing. So what I mean is that when you are in between jobs, you're out there, you're looking, you're putting resumes in, you're doing the work, you're making phone calls, you're going in for interviews, you're putting in the effort, but then it's like the universe is putting in effort too. And the universe will give you some random event that then connects with your efforts. You know, you're out there looking for a job, but then you bump into somebody at the grocery store while you're out looking for a job or whatever, and they've got this crazy opportunity for you, which you wouldn't have discovered if you weren't out there looking for a job, right? So it's kind of like your effort and the effort of the universe is coming together in this just kind of magical existence. And to me, it feels like real harmony here. It really, really does. Now, the Two of Cups down beneath everything. For some of you, this is the desire for a romantic connection. I think that your love life or your romantic life, you've never had a problem there, but I don't think you have ever really found that one kind of relationship that really checks all the boxes, the one that feels like it's a spiritual union, right? Or you do have that now perhaps, but I feel like this is a relatively kind of new thing or a new realization, because I feel as if you have a very strong sense of who you are and what you want. And you, how do I say this? You appreciate your relationships, but you know that you're looking for something that is absolutely the like deepest spiritual connection that you can find, right? And maybe you have that now, right? I think it took you a while to get that. Yeah. because I think you have this very strong sense of who you are, what you want, what you don't want. You're not afraid to transform your life, to change your life at any given moment. If something is no longer suiting you, if something is no longer, meeting their end of the bargain, so to speak. Yeah, living up to their end of the deal, you've got no problem moving on or changing things. And sometimes that change can be a little bit disruptive. Now with this Tower card, sometimes we make these abrupt decisions and we don't realize how our decisions ripple out and affect other people in our lives. There's a lot of collateral damage with the Tower. Not so much with the Death card, right? Because the Death card kind of sneaks up on you. It goes really slow. Before you know it, 10 years have gone by and things look a lot different than they did in the past, Just think about your hometown. You come from a small town, right? Go back and look at that town now, and it looks so much different than when you were growing up there. And, well, the same with me, my hometown. Over the last 20, 30, 40, however many years, it has changed so much. But for my family who still lives there, they think, well, things are still pretty much the same as they always have been, because they're right there living in it still. But from the outside, I haven't seen it in, 10 years. It looks very, very different. That's kind of this death energy. It's a slow change that you can only really see the difference in retrospect. Yeah. But with the Tower, this is something that's happening now, and the effects of it are going to ripple out in real time and affect the people around you. So I think sometimes we don't always consider that. Yeah. Sometimes. Let's talk about the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is clarity. I don't think that you always had this kind of certainty about your life, because I see that the Ace of Swords is kind of a new thing. And this is really, to me, the idea that you're not looking for answers. We have this theme of just being present in the moment and interacting with reality, interfacing with reality right now in the moment, not worried so much about the future. We know the future is going to be okay. I don't think it was always like that. I think there was a time in your life where you really wanted answers. You wanted to know, who am I? Where am I going? What does this all mean? What should I be focused on? What is going to happen tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? The Ace of Swords is not us having the answers. That's not what the Ace of Swords is. The Ace of Swords is mental clarity, where we're not looking for answers. We find them, we understand them, yes, but we're not obsessed with that. We're not racking our brains to try to find solutions to things or to find a plan. We're not overanalyzing. We are trying to almost get rid of thought altogether, right? And maybe not thought, worry. Getting rid of worry altogether. This is someone who's very tranquil, who has a mind that is very sharp, very capable of complex calculations, but is not stressed out over them. You don't find the answer? That's okay. You win some, you lose some, that's okay. Because you understand the ebb and flow of that lunar energy, for one thing. We got that moon card. And you understand how to create more peak experiences. You lost a bunch of money? That's okay, I'll make more. This relationship wasn't the one for you? Well, that's okay. There'll be another one. I feel kind of reminds me of the Big Lebowski a little bit. There's really this tranquil kind of acceptance of life in you right now. There's also a lot of passion and a lot of creativity. And I think that you have sometimes these frenzies of creativity, right? Where it'll just be like a period of time, a week, whatever, a day, where there's just so much flowing from you, so much creativity, and you'll write an entire novel. You'll paint an entire gallery worth of paintings or something. You'll write, 50 songs, and then there might be a period of just kind of not exhaustion, but like an afterglow from all that creativity, right? Where it's just, it's almost like you've emptied yourself out of all of this creative energy, and it's just a nice blissful kind of state. Yeah. And I think that's kind of a purging process for you, I think. Yeah. Let's go over to the Path of the Serpent. As I do this, I'd like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And it's good for the channel. It helps us get to 200K. We're almost there. Very exciting times. I never thought we would get to 200. I never thought we'd get to 100, but here we are almost at 200. But it is because of you, and I thank you. So we talked about most of these cards already, but the Queen of Pentacles, I think, this is what we don't want to get caught up in. And this is us, rather than focusing on the moment, we're focused on the past. We're looking at where we have been rather than looking at where we are, and we want to avoid this. This is the card we do not want. Okay? I'm not saying this is what you're doing, but I'm saying this is what you might have a tendency to do, is to get kind of wrapped up in the past and to remember these past peak experiences, financially, romantically, creatively, spiritually, and we kind of just live vicariously through these past peak experiences. So let's not go there, because that takes us out of the moment where we are creating these peak experiences right now, present day, present time, real time activities in the beautiful, infinite here and now. Okay, so the obstacle really is that Queen of Pentacles, that we could come to a point where we just think, my best days are behind me, and I just want to live in the past. I want to live in those memories, right? Don't do that. Because you have this power right now to create your best life, your peak experiences. Even if you don't know what you want or how to get there, which, I think you do, but you don't have to have a long-term goal right now. That's something that you're creating it moment by moment, and you trust in that process. I always say that when we get a Knight of Pentacles and a 10 of Pentacles, I always say that the Knight of Pentacles is every thought, word, and deed in the present moment is creating that 10 of Pentacles, that future best life. Every thought, word, and deed right now is karmic seeds that are creating who you will be in the future, where you will be, and what you will be. So a lot of us have to consider, where do we want to be? Who do we want to be? What do we want to be? So that we know what decisions to make now to help us get there, right? Seems logical. But you seem to not have that need right now, right? That you don't need to know where you want to be in order to understand what to do now. You're saying, I'm going to do the right things now, and the future is going to take care of itself. I'll become who I am meant to become by just doing basically what spirit and what your own consciousness are guiding you to do. You see how there's kind of a difference there, right? And this is really powerful energy. This is like a magic wand that, you can touch anything and it's going to turn to gold. Yeah. This is really, really valuable. The Moon card at the end, we talked about that a little bit. And that really is the ebb and flow of life, the ups and downs, This is also the idea that there's nothing we can be certain about. And I think that's probably why you're living in the moment, because the future, it doesn't matter. You're never going to be able to predict the future anyway, so you might as well just be your very best self now and hope that you will be your very best self later too. And it's really as simple as that. And I don't know how else I can explain that. That's just very, very simple. Yeah. I feel like you've been purging a lot of things from your life. Have you been getting rid of stuff, like furniture and stuff? Or I don't know if you're moving. I feel like your house is kind of in a little bit of disarray right now. Like you're starting to clean stuff out, or you're getting rid of things, or it's kind of like an early spring cleaning kind of thing. Or I don't know if it's old furniture, or maybe you are getting ready to move. But I see a lot of stuff that's kind of getting piled up, getting put in boxes, stuff being rearranged. I don't know what that's about with you. But maybe you're preparing for some for the next big change in your life. Yeah. Also, who in your family had a child recently? I'm feeling a sense of congratulations is in order here. I don't know if it's you or someone close to you recently had a child. That's a beautiful thing. So congratulations to you or to them, whoever that is. Yeah. Let's look at the mystery card now. Let's see what the last word is here from our good friend Bob Ross, Tiny Bob Ross. Okay. I don't know what we don't need anything. Maybe a little more. Well, no, we don't need fire. Maybe a little more earth energy. How about that? How about that 9 or 10 of Pentacles that we were talking about? Yeah. If you have a prediction, put it down in the comments. Let's just take a look. Oh, well, there it is. Perfect. There's that Knight of Pentacles. That's the exact match that we need for our Queen of Pentacles. Like I said, the Knight of Pentacles is the one that's looking at the future and understands that every thought, word, and deed is creating your future self. The Queen of Pentacles is looking backwards and thinking, wow, every thought, word, and deed I ever had is the reason why I am who I am, where I am, doing what I'm doing. Right? So it's the same thing, just two different directions. And that's why these cards are looking in two different directions. So we really, as much as we need to kind of assess and debrief about the past and understand that every thought, word, and deed has created who you are right now, let's also understand that every thought, word, and deed right now is creating who we will be. We still don't have the 10 of Pentacles. You don't need to know the details. You understand the process. The details are going to take care of themselves. Yeah. Anyway, I feel like you had a near-death experience a long time ago. Am I right? I feel like that kind of like that hit you hard, and it's just like it's been. It really put your life on a different course. You kind of jumped timelines there when that happened. Yeah, I feel like that was very significant too. I feel like it was a long time ago, but it's still very fresh in your memory, and it's still very like alive in you, you know. Anyway, we're going to do an extended reading. If you want to stick around, click on the link that should be up here. If not, there's one down in the video description. New readings for Aquarius every Thursday and Sunday, right? But I'm here every day. You can just come on back, see me again tomorrow. Okay. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. It doesn't cost you anything. And leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. Yeah. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.